Rebel Network, and welcome to today's show. And today I'm in Dubai, and I'm privileged to be with Shane Cragun, like Reagan, I've been told, so I got it right that time, and of course Kate Sweetman. Lovely to see you, Kate.
Pleased to be here.
Pleased to be here. Okay, what do you reckon of the heat?
It's hot.
It's only 99 Fahrenheit, so I think it's pretty mild.
You can't live with it, eh?
Yeah, I live with it.
Okay, so today, you may have heard of a buzzword. It's all about disruption these days, disruptive thinking. And they've written a book here called Reinvention, and I love the title, Accelerating Results in the Age of Disruption. So firstly, I thought it'd be a great idea if you could let the audience know what is disruptive thinking, firstly, and then is how do we accelerate through that?
Me?
Yeah.
Think about disruption as a swell that turns into a wave that crashes into the beach and shocks everybody. Businesses are disrupted by new technologies, geographic concerns. So the whole issue is, are you going to be someone that surfs the wave, or are you going to be someone that tumbles? And what we're saying is, if you can learn how to not only thrive in the age of disruption, but accelerate results, in other words, look at it as an opportunity to leapfrog the competition, all the better.
Exactly. Take the energy of that wave instead of being crushed by it.
Yes.
It sounds to me a little bit like martial arts. You know, it's like Aikido. So instead of just someone big hits you, instead of trying to take that shot when they're bigger and more powerful, you know, they go to one side and use the weight of that person to their advantage.
Did you read our book?
I did not, but am I right?
Well, guess what?
I've only just got it.
In chapter 2, we talk about that reinventors need to be judo champions. And we talk about the fact that the father of judo was a guy that did jujitsu. His son was being beaten up at school. He was a small kid. And he said, there's got to be a martial art that's more defensive in nature, that a smaller kid can beat a bigger kid. And he created judo. And judo is about using the energy of the larger force to actually win. And so what we basically said is to be a reinvention champion, you kind of have to be a judo champion.
So would you think that, I mean, a lot of the watchers of this show are SMEs as much as they're corporates. So would you say this is the kind of thinking that an SME would have to have, or even a freelancer or solopreneur, when they're coming up against a bigger company that you would think had all the resources they need?
Yeah, sort of a David and Goliath.
David and Goliath.
Yeah, exactly right. Because actually, what you need to think about is what are the advantages of being the size that I am?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's the agility that I have that they don't have? You know, or how can I quickly take something that I see changing the environment and use it to advantage that they're not going to be able to do because they may not even see it because they're just looking in different places, or if they saw it, they can't get all those different parts moving in the same direction at the same time.
So what would be a good example for the viewers here of, for example, I'm an SME, I've got a big problem that's come towards me. How can I take that problem, it looks like it's going to destroy me, and start to see the advantages of it rather than just let it roll over me?
Yeah, and let me add to that. In chapter 2 of our book, we talk about the #1 reason organizations fail of all sizes, all shapes, families, churches, you name it, and that's the inability to adapt to a quick changing environment. Why? We have 6 blindfolds, things that people are wearing that don't allow them to change. But I'll tell you this, the first thing that has to happen for this person to be able to handle that is to confront the brutal facts. Too many organizations won't talk about the sacred cow. So when these new disruptions come in, a lot of times it's challenging the sacred cow, how we've done things, and it's amazing how often people won't talk about it. What we're saying is reinvention champions are the ones that put it on the table, pop the blister, talk about it, get it out, and then have courage to take that humility and go forward.
Well, what immediately jumps in my mind also is it a good idea to go and find other people that you know, like, and trust, and maybe get some ideas?
Absolutely. So benchmarking is great. You know, also in some of our projects, we always, let's say we come into a company and we're in a textile manufacturer and they want to go to the next level. We actually put a team together that benchmarks the textile industry and another team that benchmarks outside the textile industry, because all ships rise to the same level in the industry. If you want breakthrough thinking, you go outside the industry. Right. So if a shockwave is coming in the textile industry, I might go out to the retail industry and go, oh my gosh, no one has thought, this is going to disrupt the textile industry. That makes sense.
Love it.
But the other thing that I hear you say is just the power of a network
Mm.
in general.
Mm.
So there's the formal ways that we go about doing this inside a company. But I also hear you say, maybe this is more from an entrepreneur standpoint, but frankly, even inside a large company, who else can you go out and talk to, maybe you don't normally talk to, who's going to have a different point of view, a different way of looking at the problem? Is there a parallel or is there an analogous kind of industry that teaches you something? So for example, I mean, I've done work in publishing, and things started to get disruptive in publishing, so they said, well, let's go look at the music industry.
Love it.
Let's go look at, let's go see what we can learn
But
from that.
here's the deal, Kate, and we say this in the book. To have that happen, the current leadership has to be humble enough to say, I don't have the answers.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
So why you're like, hey, that's a good idea. But it doesn't happen a lot because that means I'm saying I don't have the answers. Let's go find it.
And by the
that's
way,
one of the reasons why organizations fail.
And that is the KISS adapt. I mean, this is such ancient history about, why did Digital Equipment Corporation fail? I don't know if people even have heard of that anymore. It used to be this amazing company. But the CEO, who was the founder, he was the entrepreneur, he was the technology guy, and he did grow it to an amazing size. And then he just didn't matter what anybody told him. It was not about the PC, it was about the mainframe.
Wow.
And we happened to be working there, this was the early 90s, but we were working there, ironically, on team building, and people would be excused to go fire somebody to come back in and team build. I mean, it was saddest thing, and it was all about the mindset of the entrepreneur who couldn't shift. And a lot of fabulous people lost their jobs.
I got to tell you a funny story. One of the companies I worked with, I won't tell you the name, but it was a major paper planner company. And we were in a meeting, and this is when BlackBerry and devices were coming out, and online planners, things like that, and Outlook came out. And the sacred cow was the entrepreneur was all about paper. And I remember sitting in the fourth row, and someone in the third row got the courage to stand up and actually say, can I ask a question? Do you think that we should get into technology? And the CEO stood up, turned around, and said, I'm going to say this just one time. How many people are there in China? How many people? 1.1 billion. How many have our planners? No more talk about technology, thank you. And he sat down.
Meaning what? Everybody in China's going to buy their planner?
Yeah, he's like, why are we talking about online technology when we have planners that they've never bought? The problem is the Chinese would just go straight to technology.
Yeah.
But what a great example of someone that has just got blindfolds on. And the thing is that he was a master at what he did, but like Dad,
That's the problem.
he could not see past his baby.
Well, he couldn't see past his expertise.
Exactly.
Do you know what? I'm getting the feeling there's so much more information. We could probably be here till my camera runs out of battery. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to recommend that whoever's watching this, try and find out from Right Selection where you guys are going to be, or at least one of their partners around the globe. They come and see you guys, or at the least get the book, because I personally could do with knowing a lot more about this. So I just want to thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate it.
I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Phil. A lot of fun.
Rebel Networker.